Good morning, July 4th weekend, people!
Hi!
Hello! We are just making sure all the buttons and the doohickeys are starting up and the sounds and the Mac and the stuff, so let's kick on over to...
Are you ready?
I don't know, is anyone ever ready?
No.
I don't think people are ever ready for us. It's an appreciated taste. While we're setting up here, good morning, everybody. To anyone coming on in already, it's hard to see. Well, it says Georgia Rita's joined, so that's good.
I'm here.
She's here. Hello.
Oh, wait, I always got to lean this way. Hi.
And it looks like, yeah, still filming on even a good screen. We get we get some resolution issues, so let's go to the canvas view.
Get to the canvas.
Get to the canvas.
Hey, Derek.
So at least, and I see...
Hey, Lieferman. Hey, Jess.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I see, just looking at, like, the screen. How's it look on your screen? How much of Tina can you actually kind of see?
All the way up to her... Oh.
I just moved in.
There we go. Like that.
Okay.
That's
so,
what we can see.
A little bit of moray, because, again...
And lemon liquor.
We're not special enough to have a stream key here, so we gotta film...
You keep complaining about your stream key.
I will always complain, because sooner or later, someone might go, hey, I got a solution for you, or I got a link, or I got a friend, or I got someone who knows the secret...
He wants a secret stream key.
Well, YouTube gets a nice, clean signal. Why can't TikTok? The TikTok people have been lovely.
Why don't you start making more friends with the fancy TikTok creators and ask them? Thanks for the hearts, you guys. Hey, where's everybody at today? We're out in Los Angeles. It's looking a little gloomy today. It's gonna get sunnier pretty soon.
Yep.
Where are y'all at? Are y'all on East Coast, West Coast, no coast?
Yeah.
Let us know. Drop a comment.
Yeah. Also, do anything fun for the 4th? Because it's gonna be fireworks mania here.
It's already been fireworks, which are illegal in our neighborhood, but people like to set them off anyway, because white trash. Yay! I said it. I said it out loud.
Well, good morning. We are starting things off. As you can see here, we are working on the rigs of the characters for those who were here last week.
Hey, Leap Me!
Hello! We are working on Mr. Krabs. This week is the realization that...
Hey, Bestie Slay!
I did a lot of work on SpongeBob. I have not done a lot of work on the kids yet. So Squidward, Tina, and Patrick Jean. Let's go over here to Patrick. So, other than the initial sketches, exactly, and what we did for the opening title sequence, there's not been more work on them. And since they've got an awful lot of lines in this one. Speaking of things that are related to this. We've already been digging our heels into many other areas. We just we're still in minor. It's like good-hearted, but still in minor competition for some of the voices and stuff. It's like
we did an audition yesterday for each other, so we each recorded our voices. He used the good microphone that somehow I thought wasn't hooked up yet. Why am I bitching about that? I'm bitching because he does great voices. I have done professional voiceover work for some really cool projects, but I gotta tell you, there's always people who are gonna be better than you at certain things and people who aren't. And what I love about, like, with musicians, I think there's competition there too, but sometimes I get the feeling with musicians, like, they're all there to jam together and work together, and so there's this mutual admiration. Whereas a lot of times, like in acting and dance, there's this very competitive kind of thing. Tell me if I'm wrong, you guys. But what I love is that Tom, naturally... I don't know if it's because you were a dad or what, and you've worked with some voiceover people. I can't wait for you guys to hear the voices he's doing. They are so spot on. And so even when I could get the right cadence, the right feel, the right style of the voice, in some cases it was just simply a matter of Tom can get the intonation. He's got the what is that called? The level. There's a better word for it.
It could be pitch, pitch tonality.
Yep. And, so yeah, his,
Yeah. And
Plankton, he's doing Plankton, so you're definitely doing Plankton, you're definitely doing SpongeBob, you're definitely doing, Krabs, you're definitely doing, Barnacle Boy, and Mermaid Man, although I think I do a better evil than you do, but I'm gonna stand by, I told you, I'm putting that on my gravestone, evil! I'm doing all the chicks, man, well, so Linda... Pearl, Tina, We are fighting over Patrick. We're still fighting over Patrick because I think I've got his style and I think I can get close enough to his intonation. So we're fighting on that one. I'm doing Edith and Harold. I'm very excited about that. Although you might throw in some on that too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yep. Who else did we do? Oh, you like my Zeke. My Zeke was really good.
Yep.
So again, with some of these voice actors, they have this, what you want as a voice actor is really good range, right? So like with Zeke, he can get really down low, but then he can also get really up high. And so that's where with Tom and I can go a little bit higher. He can go a little bit deeper and lower. And so we're trying to figure out, like, I don't know, do we Frankenstein a couple of these voices, or do we just, take it over? And there's not that many lines for each of these characters, so we're really excited. Who else did I miss? Right, Louise. I think I'm gonna do Louise, but the jury's still out on that one.
Yep.
Who else?
Well, let's see. You were working on Gretchen. Yeah, we did Teddy Mort. We never decided Schnitzel. Shit.
Yeah, you
hold
just
on.
let it out.
No. So
moving past that.
Moving past that one.
Moving past that moment.
Well, let's not go into all of it because we're still trying to hold a few cards here and there throughout. Yeah. As if you people are just like, I've got the hottest SpongeBob's Burgers news.
Well, yeah, actually, that is pretty hot in our world. Come on, man.
But
it's all right. There's only 2 people here. Hi, 2 people.
I
We love you. We're so glad you're here. And if you tell anyone, dun dun dun. Oh, coffee.
TikTok.
I like this. We got we do Costco. We're not affiliates of Costco, by the way. And they ran out of the cheap brand we like, so we got another cheap brand, and it's actually pretty good. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It works. So, where's everyone tuning in from? Has people said where they're...
Nope, there's only 3 people, and they're not telling us where they are, and that's okay.
Well, fine.
You do not have to tell us where you are.
And we had one person briefly come in.
Sometimes you just
TikTok, and not TikTok, in the...
Hey, YouTube!
YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
They're already gone.
They're already gone. They're here from 10:01 to 10:03. It's a holiday weekend.
Hold on, I want to have a moment. I know we only have a few people here, but I do want to have this moment.
Okay.
So, last night, a beloved family member, an aunt of mine, passed away, and I just wanted to have a moment of honoring her memory. She was always really kind to me. I've got a lot of really wonderful cousins on that side of the family, and luckily we are still in touch, and she did a lot of good for her community. So I just wanted to say, Aunt Nancy, wherever you are out there, if you are, I love you, and I'm sorry you're gone. That's it. Okay, moving on.
Well, on that somber note.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bestie Slay. I appreciate it. You gotta work on your eye line for your camera. It's like, I gotta work around here. Hi! There we go. So now,
Does that work better for you?
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Well, the problem is sometimes I need to lean in, and sometimes I need to
That's
lean
not
out.
allowed. You gotta draw. You gotta be like an actor. You gotta emote from the camera angle.
That's what I gotta do, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Of all the many issues I have with Animate, sometimes the way these lines intersect or get sloppy for no good reason do not make me happy. I am not happy when it does these. End up having to remove a whole bunch of stuff just to get a cleaner line. You would figure that people who made Illustrator and made it a staple for graphic designers since the late 80s would be able to control those same tools better here.
Yeah.
The things, the techniques you learn for years and years and years in Illustrator, you think, oh, I'll just apply it here, and it does things like removes whole sections instead. It's just like, no, that point there, that's a little janky. And nope.
What are those gray boxes down below? I don't know what those are.
Okay.
I really don't.
Well, that's fine. These, well, the good news is that everyone can see these on both streams. So the upshot is, and in fact, let's actually slide this whole panel over so the folks on TikTok can see this a little better.
Ooh.
So let me get this out of the way. So here's the deal, happy people. Too bad we don't have like a zoom function or anything.
Shiny people.
Happy shiny people.
Don't do that.
Okay. What is that the Duggars thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because the reverse shiny happy people, that's REM. So the idea here is that you eventually, in this case, we're working on Tina Squidward's mouth. And so we've got all the different layers that we're working on. So all these dots here are essentially the keyframes. And what keeps this relatively making sense... I need to scroll back so I can get to the scroll part here. So, and I don't know why I have this repeated. Maybe I accidentally didn't think the layer was there and pasted it twice. So here's the deal. To make my world make sense, because once you start doing so many characters and so many motions and all the different mouth shapes and words and all the different emotions behind it, your brain will start going, wait a second, how did I do this? You have to come up with some sense of consistency so that if you realize Gene's got a problem with his left arm, Louise has got a problem with an eyelid, if you built them completely differently, or you just drew it all on just one layer and you're trying to get at one part that's above this, under that, da-da-da-da, you go nuts.
Sorry, I gotta...
Well, hello.
I'm looking stuff up on my phone while we talk.
You're doing research?
I'm doing research.
Hello. So it's just the idea here that first I have a line of just notes. Then these are just comments to myself that says that in these frames this is the front view. In these frames she's turned 3/4 to stage right. Oh wait, that's wrong. Yeah, stage right. And then profile, yada yada yada. So part of it is just where the body is, because those all can get disconnected as well. Then in here on a second line of notes, where you probably see very small type, you see maybe a lot of little letters across the second row down here. It'll be things like neutral, smile, smile open, smile with teeth, and then letter shapes like A, E, letters DTS, letters L and N, F and V, O, U, all those shapes with a happy smile, then all those same things with more of a sad smile, and then some exaggerated stuff. And you repeat it all over again when they rotate. So, but here I've got the line of the smile right now. If I have the teeth, that's on a different layer. If I've got the bottom teeth, that's on a different layer. And the tongue, and the inside of the mouth, and the lips, and any parts that overlap on the face, because all these characters have noses, glasses, hair strands, eye patches, all those things that can get in the way, and yet those got to be on another layer.
Eye patches?
And one of the things you got to struggle with, that I know Harmony makes this a little bit easier, is that sometimes this arm is in front of you and sometimes this arm is behind you, depending on which way you're facing. And as far as I know, in Animate, you can't control that. You can't just magically say that whenever the character is over here, it just jumps behind the body layer. What I have to do is I have to build a layer of every frame that the arm is in front and every frame that the thing is behind. Same with hair. Hair in front, hair behind. Eye stalks on Mr. Krabs. When are they in front of his head, behind his head? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of layers. But...
much like your hair.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But the upshot is that if you can come up with a consistent system, and there are characters that just bend all the rules, especially people who stretch and warp as much as the SpongeBob characters. But at least it brings a little bit of sanity, because here's the other deal, is that you will be working on characters, say, in December of last year. And then suddenly, in this case, we have to bring them out and get them finalized for September. Mm-hmm. If you open that file up from all those months ago and you were like, oh, I'm just going to do this in a hurry. I'm not going to name my layers. I'm just going to do all this stuff. You will be so lost that you will waste, hours, if not days, trying to rebuild where you were. So, yay.
Yay.
The extremely involved lesson of basically what they tell you all the time in like Photoshop and everything else, like name your layers, come up with a consistent technique. We all want to get through it sooner than later, but sometimes you just got to slow down. So what I need to work on here, because Tina has a lot of lines. So, but what you're seeing here is actually leftover Mr. Krabs shapes, which in some cases might work. But then you start looking at video footage of Squidward when he's talking. You realize they actually do his teeth and his alignment a little bit different than the way Mr. Krabs does his lines. And because he's got such a wide, thin mouth that can go deep with the lips, but it's all very constrained. Whereas Krabs has more of a square thing or very very curved out thing. Him and Patrick have the ones that just kind of like break out of their face when they're facing this way. So you steal what you can, but for the most part, you gotta start from scratch and do it all over again. How we doing?
Oh, we're just hanging.
People are hanging. Hello,
Yeah.
hangers. I know it's July 4th weekend and it's Sunday, and for those who have to go back to work on Monday, only to have Tuesday off, I'm sure today is a go party, go to the beach, go and grill. So if you're doing that instead of sitting here working on illustrating Squidward Tina, hey, more power to you.
I just found a new cartoon that I'm really excited about.
She did.
I gotta find out what it's called because I was watching it late last night. Something about a unicorn.
Something about a unicorn. Was that the Gendy?
Yeah.
Yep.
If any of you guys don't know Gendy Tartakovsky, oh my god. All his stuff is fire.
Yep. More recently, besides whatever you're going to find out here for the unicorn.
There it is. Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Oh my god, you guys, you've got to check out Unicorn Warriors Eternal. It's just funky and interesting, and I don't know, there's already a New York Times article saying, where does Unicorn Warriors Eternal rank in the Tartakovsky, I don't know, cartoon universe? Something like that. Fascinating. Anyways, please continue.
Yep. Oh, I'm just
Right, he did the Clone Wars you were talking about.
Yep, the original animated Clone Wars.
I gotta see that.
Then it's weird. It's like I'm just double check the YouTube settings.
I thought he was Gennady. Okay, I keep wanting to call him Gennady or Gennady because there was a piano player who had that same name, but people call him Gendy. That's funny. Or Gendy, whichever one it is. Good lord. You can see I'm not friends with him.
Well, I've never tried to pronounce the name. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so interesting.
So as you can tell here, when you're breaking down different layers and turning on and off stuff, you get some very haunting kind of looks. The purpose for why he's
haunting. That's nightmarish.
Yeah, but the idea here is since this is excuse me, first and foremost, as far as the character, much more Squidward, I realize that sometimes you're kind of blind to any errors you might be making by having Tina's hair on top of it. So I thought, okay, let's make sure that it accomplishes Squidward, and just realizing little things like, well, Squidward's real eyeballs, the big vertical eyeballs, are actually touching in the middle, so that the nose always ends up at a point here in the center. But I consciously, one of the conscious things to do, not quite across the board, but is to introduce a little bit of more of Bob's Burgers eyeballs. Mm-hmm. So Sandy doesn't really have Sandy eyeballs, has more of Linda's eyeballs. But what's interesting is that I also chose to make the lids more like SpongeBob. Mm-hmm. So it's a Sandy head with Linda eyes and glasses and hair, but when she blinks, the eyelids are more of a Sandy, but constrained to the shape of Linda.
Wow.
And it's just that weird blend, because I found that if you just have a regular eyeball Bob's Burgers, if you have regular Bob's Burgers eyelid closing, it just looked a little too foreign. It's like someone sticking something artificial on front of Mr. Krabs and Squidward and the rest of them. Now, of course, Tina breaks a lot of the rules, and they do this often with characters with glasses, where if you watch most characters, regardless of which cartoon, when they blink, it's eyelids all coming together in the middle, and whatever it is, maybe changed a little bit by their emotion.
Yeah.
But Tina, her pupils blink.
You're right.
And same with well, no, not Squidward, but
that's so creepy.
Yeah. So characters with
the
glasses.
Her eye is just one little dot in each eyeball.
What's that?
She just her eyeballs are just one little dot.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
that's
so
creepy.
and that that's the thing is that they probably. I mean, I'm sure with characters with glasses, they try all kinds of. Well, let's have actual real eyes behind the frames and blink, but you get different looks and different feels.
Well, and I wonder if it doesn't distract from the glasses, because you gotta have. Then you got because you'll notice with Linda's glasses, there's never the side pieces. Almost never.
Right.
I don't know. Hardly ever. Because even when she turns sideways, all you see is the front frames.
Yep. So,
Fascinating, isn't it, y'all?
Every art team, I just watched again the original Rough and Ready pilot for Bob's Burgers. And the decisions they made then to make them just look more raw, just more hairy and just sketchy and whatever it was.
Yeah. Hey, Leap Meat says they like it when a character's glasses or lens act as the eyelid. Okay, right on. Yeah, what's a new poll? Do you like it when
you can make a poll.
Eyeballs are eyeballs or the glasses are the eyeballs?
Tell you what, if there's
you make polls.
If there's a specific character in animation who has an action that just creeps you out, whether it's the way they look in general, the way they blink or move or talk.
I got one right now.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty both, when they do that weird, their mouth goes.
Oh yeah, when they're supposed to be like dumbfounded or
especially
struck dumb.
in the early Rick episodes when he's constantly drooling.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a thing about drool. It's just personal. I mean, it's really well done. They do a great job. Oh, but the gross out factor. Like whatever dog we end up owning, they all drool. But then there's the drool. I can't. I can't.
She says no.
No.
Okay.
Taylor says she loves the episode where Tina dreams about the horses and the zombies. Yes.
Yep.
Oh my god, so good.
Yep, we
just rewatched.
Yeah, because it was that thing of you watch those first episodes and the things that become iconic lines that are that it almost becomes kind of like with SpongeBob. It's like my leg, and then suddenly they realize everyone does that or becomes a meme. But yeah, it was like waiting for those first moments when Tina says I'm all right. The first time Linda says. I gotta go, or gotta go, or what was her name? Oh, my face.
Yeah. Oh, my face.
Yeah.
Stay out of my room. There was one time I noticed. I don't think it's the night they go to the loft party, but there is one episode where I watched and Bob and Linda are leaving and they're leaving the kids to be babysat.
Yeah.
And Linda doesn't say stay out of my room, and it bothered me. I was like, she's like goodbye, I love you, goodbye, stay out of my room. That's her thing every time. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my god, now I need to do a whole theory on what happened to them that night.
What happened to the line?
What happened? Taylor says she was Delulu. I don't know what does that mean, Delulu. I don't know what that means. I am not awake. I'm still on cup number 1. Hooray! I still just also love that Paul Rudd played the horse.
Yeah.
I'm wild. That Paul Rudd is just living the... Paul Rudd, poop on you, living your dream.
Yep.
Awesome.
It is funny the way over the decades that...
like delusional. Thanks, Taylor. Yes, she was delusional.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ta-da.
Another new cool phrase we gotta learn for the kids here, man. Delusional. So catch up. Our phrase back in the day was nadoik, which came from nada, which came from duh, which came from, just general bullying and rudeness, which was, all the fun of our childhood. It's good times.
Good times. Welcome to the fun.
I'm going to need more coffee.
You're going to need more coffee, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, that second view was me. So, just so you know, on YouTube.
Second?
That was me coming on to get the link to put
it in. Yeah!
Yeah!
Are you doing a coffee run?
Yeah. Okay, well, we got people. So, okay, whoever's on here right now, have you guys seen any new cartoons that you're excited about? I was just talking earlier about, I'm going to say Gennady Tartakovsky's Unicorn Warriors something. It's on...
Unicorn Warriors Eternal?
Yeah, Unicorn Warriors Eternal.
On Max.
On...
But
HBO.
But did you check to see if it's an Adult Swim? Like
I think
Primal?
it is. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's Adult Swim.
So for the people who have Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got.
But it's like a mix of like they're doing they're doing a look that's very similar to Cuphead with like the old timey eyes with the pie piece taken out of it. But then they've got other parts that are very like almost like Miyazaki, that has a very that kind of feel like why is my brain Spirited Away?
Yeah.
Right? There's this like cool huge robot that's very steampunk-esque feeling, and then the concept is that there's these 3 magical beings from way back, and there are 3 different ones, and they are destined to battle against evil, and so moving forward, as time moves forward, their souls will be rebirthed in 3 new beings every so often to come back over and over and over for eternity to defend the planet against this evil that I guess also just keeps coming back. Yeah. I'll get a little of the... Sorry. Because you like being directed. We all do. I'm just jealous because I'm like... Okay. We're going to talk about that later.
We're going to talk about jealousy.
Evil.
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope.
Get it. Is that...
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, Borg 9. Anyways, okay, so yes, it's amazing. Oh, yes, Kid Cosmic. Leap Meat mentioned Kid Cosmic. You like that one? Yeah, you recommend it? What? Where's Kid Cosmic playing? Do you know which stream or channel or whatever? Let us know. I'm going to look it up, too. I'm going to look it up.
Dun dun dun.
Kid Cosmic. I tried the one that's got one of the Owen brothers.
What are the many Owen brothers?
Remember, there's the 2 brothers.
It's just 2 brothers.
It's just...
For the Rick and Morty people,
It's just 2 brothers.
we fought. We had many moments. Just go. It's just 2 brothers.
If you knew how many times we're doing something, we're like, but look out, because here comes some angry grandmas.
And they're bringing the, what do they call it?
They're bringing the heat.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to confuse it with the Manny's. Just like, and they're bringing the juice or whatever it was.
Yes.
Just like, wait, is this
Man juice or something.
Yeah. But the here and they're bringing. It's like, yeah, but they're
angry cat, grandma, Mexican armada, brothers, 2 brothers. It's just
2 brothers.
Okay, wait. Taylor says, I hate being corrected. I tell them, just let me do it how I'm doing it right now. Good point, Taylor. Tom, tell me.
Tell you what?
To let you do it just how you're doing it right now.
Just let me do it the way I'm doing it.
There you go.
My computer wife.
All right, Jimmy. Okay, Kid Cosmic.
Oh, crap. Did I put that on the
Oh, on YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, yeah. Hell
Hey. What are you doing?
Yeah, there's this one. It's something about being fired on Mars.
Oh, yeah. I think it was called Fired on Mars.
Yeah, fired on Mars. That one was weird. Yeah. But, you know, I try to watch all of them just to see. To go, hey.
There we go.
So who created Kid Cosmic?
Kid Rock.
The creator is Craig McCracken.
Well,
Craig McCracken.
Craig McCracken is still best
yeah.
known, at least for the millennials, as the Powerpuff Girls.
Really?
Yeah.
He did Powerpuff.
Yeah.
Not Gendy.
No.
Oh.
No, there was...
But that's so funny because Dexter's Laboratory, I feel, is so similar. Did he do... Am I really effing things up?
If I want to say, Dexter's might actually be a crossover, where you see the credits of one a little bit on the other, but do a double check on that.
Well, yeah, he's done Powerpuff, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yep.
Wander Over Yonder, and then Kid Cosmic. Nice.
Yep. What you'll see in
They're all your age.
exactly.
I love it. They're all these dudes are right around here. That's very cool.
There was that renaissance out of Cartoon Network that introduced Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab. I want to say Cow and Chicken.
I love Cow and Chicken, guys. Cow and Chicken.
But there were all these things that just had a
Dexter's Laboratory, Ego Trip. He worked on story, so yeah, he was involved with it.
Yeah, so there's blend between those artists, just like today, there was a blend between the folks who do Gravity Falls,
Dude.
Rick and Morty. Yes.
Well, he also in '09 he did story and storyboard artist on Chowder. He was also an EP on Regular Show for the pilot episode.
And then,
oh my god.
regular show. You bring in J.G. Quintel.
Yes, J.G. Quintel.
And then of course for Chowder it's like Green Block or whatever his name is. But yeah, there's just so many people that in the early days of Cartoon Network just they. I don't know what the conditions were that allowed it to break out into this whole mini renaissance of stuff that we're still feeling influences on today. She's bringing over the serious stuff.
When they were little, they liked Rainbow Bright. Well, guess what? I've lost her rainbow. This is a very loved set of toys, and actually, I mean, they need cleaning and stuff. Poor babies, but this is my original Rainbow Bright with, oh my god, wow, I'm tired, and I've forgotten her horse's name. I am so sorry. Please, somebody tell me the name of her horse. Taylor, help me out. Say her name, his name, its name, oh my gosh.
Explosive Diarrhea.
No, stop that. It's like Starbright or something awesome.
Yeah,
like that.
it probably, well, there was Lurky and Murky were the enemies. I want to make sure that's Rainbow Bright and not Strawberry Shortcake, because they always had a Lurky, Murky.
That might be because there's a singular main...
No, because Murky, I want to say because the whole idea of the rainbow and the colors versus this gray, so I think
he was
Lurky
like a gray
and Murky.
cloud.
Yeah. No, he wasn't a cloud, but he was, well, no. Maybe he had powers that were like that. My goodness, it's like we're doing just some deep dives today between Lurky and Murky, and of course, then I'm confused. I'm not confusing.
I just love it. She's the Adventures of the Color Protector and her friends, which is just so like LGBTQ. Yes, Starlight. Aha, I was right.
Yeah,
Thank
nice.
you, Taylor. Aha. No, see here, Murky. You were right. Murky, dismal, and look, see, he looks like.
Yeah.
He's got a lightning bolt, and he's gray.
Yeah, I think he could do... I think he was... Like, usually in a lot of these, there would be the land of the sprites or the fairies, whatever it is. And then, there'd be someone in some dark castle, whether it's Skeletor in He-Man or Murky and Lurky or Gargamel for the Smurfs.
Oh my God, Gargamel.
You would have someone, you're like, whoa, usually over a cauldron or some kind of spell book, whatever it is, coming up with a new plan to go after He-Man. And then decide, then of course their plans would get ruined. I mean, heck, even Dr. Claw, was it Dr. Claw?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Always with this cat.
But his name was something cat. It wasn't like Spot. Spot was the cat from Hong Kong Phooey. I can hear him growling at the cat when the remote's like, something cat, and that voice was just, that voice is on another level. That's one of those people where you hope he doesn't walk out of the booth unable to talk for the next week because of just how gravelly and low that goes. But yes, all right. So in all of this time, I have in the first half hour of the show, I have at least got. Oh, I need to fix this. And part of the nice thing of pulling the layers out is that you can, if the nose wasn't in the way, if the glass and hair were in the way, you can have moments of clarity where you go, oh, wait a second, this mouth is completely, needs to be out of alignment, whatever it is.
Question.
A question.
Wants to know.
Yes.
What's a trope you've seen turned on its head or altered in an interesting way?
Oh, Lord. I mean, there are shows that build themselves so entirely on it. I mean, in its own subtle ways, I want to say the My Little Pony episodes that the kids were watching a lot growing up were trying to take, because all of these shows eventually end up at points where you can tell the rhythms of. So let's see. I mean, tropes that were turned on the head. Rick and Morty is all about meta commentary, even commenting on meta structure. I mean, their Story Train episodes, the ones with Story Lord, are some of the most about whipping out every one of the tropes. Morty puts on the goggles, and immediately everything around him becomes. And George and I will talk about him too, because we both have acting and theater backgrounds.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the structures for theatrical plays, for movies and TV shows,
They're
for
all the
cartoons.
same.
I mean, story train for. I mean, well, okay. A lot of this is more of structure and meta.
Yeah.
And act, but a lot of that does end up creating the tropes as well.
Well, but if you think of like what I like to notice, I don't know if this exactly counts to answer the question.
Yeah.
But,
the Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers,
There
in
you
many
go.
ways,
Venture
is about
Brothers.
taking the tropes of 007
And the Hardy Boys.
Of the Hardy Boys, yeah. and
what
so,
if we took Hardy Boys and smashed them in with this butterfly?
yeah, I mean, so everything from like voice changes. So the voice of what's her name in the who works with the evil butterfly, whatever it is, and she talks
Oh my
like
God,
down here.
Yes, in the pink dress.
And to my understanding, because I have not seen enough of the episodes to know if ever it is, but they'll do these things in certain shows where they go against expectation of damsel in damsel in distress is a trope that oftentimes I think one of the first real versions of this, although I'm trust me, I mean ever since, because I grew up in the time when I was 7 when Star Wars came out. And Princess Leia is not a damsel in distress. Nah. And for the 70s, even though we had, if you had a character that wasn't damsel in distress, it was like Barbarella, where it's like, I'm totally tough. Oh, help me strip for a moment here.
Or it's like, could you just get on with it? Well, you know what I like to look at is if you watch so many, you'll notice a lot of cartoons eventually will all use the same story idea. For instance, a lot of them have done an episode about their characters playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? So, just off the top of my head, Gravity Falls, they do it. It's Dungeons, and more dungeons.
Yep.
And they'd laugh about the 90s version, Diggity Dungeons and all that.
Yeah.
Dark times. Then you've got regular show. They're playing a game, and all the characters are made up, and they're trying to get a refund for the game because it's really crappy. And then you look at Clarence. Clarence, they just touch on it a couple of different ways, like when they go to the Ren Fair, or when they are going to Pizza Swamp, and they're playing the different characters. One of them's a wizard, one of them's the leader, one of them's... So they're all touching on it in different ways, and then trying to come at it from a different angle. I like that a lot. What else do they all play on? Because it's like stand-up and anything else. You only have so many topics that you talk about, but you're trying to make it original. Ooh, someone says they were into... Oh, Taylor, Magilla Gorilla came out in like the 60s. She's into that. Are you into Magilla Gorilla?
Well, Magilla Gorilla, and I want to say, was he the one? No. I'm actually mixing two Hanna-Barbera apes here, because Magilla Gorilla is more. He's more. If I remember correctly, he's more in the world of Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss, and I don't know if they actually use him in this because when
Snagglepuss, we've got to name our next cat
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss. Whatever cat we get, it's got to be Snagglepuss.
So Hanna-Barbera had that period of just Huckleberry Hound, Quick Draw McGraw. And all these anthropomorphized animals becoming different characters and having adventures, usually totally not overlapping at all. But a thing happened, for those of you kids from the 60s and whatnot, that you can recall. It was called... because of...
She just know, or they know stuff.
Fine. From the 60s.
That.
But here's the big thing. So in the 70s... And this was the era. Imagine this would have been unheard of today. I don't even know how would they do it. But once upon a time, when TV was not streaming services, when TV was not even basic cable of 500 channels.
TV was the size of your lunchbox.
But here's the deal: once upon a time, even before Fox, there was only ABC, CBS, and NBC, the big three. So in the 70s, because each of these shows were competing for eyeballs with Archie Bunker or MASH or whatever was the big thing in NBC back in the 70s, before it became must-see TV.
Love Boat.
That was ABC. But here's the deal: those shows and those networks were such a big deal. If anything happened on some of these episodes, it was just like, the talk of the town, of the country for weeks on end. they competed. They decided that to get all the fans of all the shows together, they created Battle of the Network Stars. So imagine taking cast members from WKRP in Cincinnati, and of course Lonnie Anderson had to be one of them.
Putting on boxing gloves and beating the crap out of each other?
So take John Ritter or the cast of Three's Company, cast members of the Love Boat, cast members of Knight Rider, and you'd put them in competitions. So maybe it was rowboating across a pool. Maybe it was relays. Maybe it was balancing an egg.
See, that's really cool because you actually give a crap
Yeah.
because they've all had 40 episodes for you to get to know them and fall in love with them, versus now it's like every show has maybe 8 episodes and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So
And famously, there will also be Simon Says. And like an absolute perfect comedian whose whole job was to mess with all these celebrities to get them to mess up in a game of Simon Says. So here's the long ass story that we're getting to with Magilla Gorilla.
yeah.
Hanna-Barbera saw how popular Battle of the Network Stars was and created the Laugh Olympics, which was Hanna-Barbera's Battle of the Network Stars.
But with cartoons.
So the teams...
Is this on YouTube? I want to see this.
So the teams were the Scooby-Doobies, which of course had the Scooby-Doo... I can't remember what other shows were part of that team. There were the Yogi Berries. It can't be Yogi Berries. It was the Scooby-Doobies, the Yogi... Maybe Yogi Berries. So the Yogi Berries team would have a lot of these... They would have Quick Draw and Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear and Boo Boo and all of them as a team.
Boo Boo!
And then to have your villains... The third team were the Really Rottens. And the Really Rottens were the characters that usually were the villains, like
Wreck-It Ralphs.
Muffy, the Wreck-It Ralphs of the thing. And so, of course, you would even have episodes where the Really Rottens would win. They would usually have 3 competitions, a drag race, a marathon, a balloon race. Exactly.
Ah, I love it.
And Muffy, it was a dog in a trench coat who'd go, when it was
that's right, that's all I did.
Yeah. And there would be, you know,
so many cartoon characters. If you go back and look, you can totally see which ones were stoned.
So the weird thing is, I don't know, because look, it's Hanna-Barbera, which means it would have technically been inherited by Cartoon Network and Boomerang. But does it exist on any of the streaming platforms? Can you find it on Max? I don't know, but at the very least, I'm sure YouTube has got some clips buried somewhere.
Taylor's trying to find a particular Scooby-Doo on Watch platform. They've been looking for months from Wacky Races. So, yeah.
So, but I mentioned that I was confusing a different ape, and the ape I was confusing was Grape Ape. Grape Ape was on the Yogi Berra's team, and he is basically a giant gorilla, whereas Magilla Gorilla is like the same size as Yogi Bear and Snagglepuss.
I'll be back. Keep having fun.
And he had like a Legal Beagle or Eagle Beagle. Yeah, Eagle Beagle was his companion for Grape Ape. And Grape Ape was more like the gentle giant, you know, that could just, you know, lay waste to a whole forest, you know, if he wasn't kind of kept in check by Eagle Beagle. So let's see. I will kind of monitor the talking here. Hello. Yes, Wacky Races. And yeah, and that was the other thing, was that back in the 60s, there were movies like Mad, It's a Mad World. In the 70s, it was the Cannonball Run is the same thing. Cannonball Run was take a whole bunch of comedians and celebrities and beautiful models and have them race across the country from each other. And what's funny is I think the race in the first one starts in Redondo Beach, and that's down in our neck of the woods. And you'd see like these areas that are local here in the South Bay of LA, and you go, holy cow, that's where they started the Cannonball Run? And it was... I can't get his name in my head. Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise as the main team. They got Steve Martin. Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin were on a team, and then they'd bring in I think like Terry Bradshaw, who was just at the time just a quarterback for the Steelers, I think it was back then. You would just like put them all in cars and Trans Ams and you know, and Firebirds and stuff like that, and have them race across the country and have crazy adventures and chaos ensues. Shows, you'll see stuff, you know, especially now that Discovery Channel bought Max. And you will see all these crazy ideas coming out now. And you go, what the heck is this? And it's like, look, we were just as insane in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Stuff that I'd be curious to see if it could still be done today. And to be honest, something like Cannonball Run, considering the 10 movies now, Fast and Furious, I am surprised that that something like that has not been rebirthed by now. Let's double check a couple lines here. Scooby-Doo film, Ghoul School. Yeah, I mean the Scooby-Doo franchise is one of those things where if you come out of it for a while and you go back, you see, wait, they did all. There was the whole the OP Shaggy or whatever they called him, where he was like. Shaggy had a moment in a direct-to-video Scooby-Doo where all of a sudden he was this overpowered character and he became a solid meme for, like a year or whatever it was, to the point that they were bringing him into video games like I don't know if they brought him to Mortal Kombat or whatever it was, but yeah, suddenly like everyone wanted to be this overpowered Shaggy. But Scooby-Doo, yeah, and I still have not brought myself to watch Velma yet.
No, Scoobin'?
Well, and you guys were asking about tropes that get turned on their head, and I think the whole idea with Velma was to take every trope about Scooby-Doo, every assumption we have about Scooby-Doo, and try and turn it on its head. But from what I've heard, and have not seen, but from what I've heard and the little snippets, whatever it was, I think the whole point of putting well, I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why artists will play with tropes. But the ones that I think work best, because who else is the audience? Who else would be an audience of Velma redoing all the tropes but people who love Scooby-Doo? So much that they're in on the joke, they understand the twist.
I'll be right back. My cat's up. So our cat likes to act like she's dying for attention.
She is dying for attention.
She's older. So her hearing might be going, but then you'll just say, hey, Kiki, and she'll turn her head. She hears fine.
Yep.
She's just doing I'm all alone in the bedroom. I could die at any moment if you don't come and pet me immediately. So I'm going to go give her some pets. I'll be back.
Yep. I don't know why my...
coffee. Oh, hi, Yowers.
Oh. That's why. I had one of those moments again where the other computer... screen is up. Here we go. We're going to back out a little bit so at least we can... So if anyone's just randomly coming in right now and going, what is this really creepy thing right here? Here we go. What were we talking about? Scooby-Doo and Velma. Yeah. So the best times the tropes get twisted are the ones who they can make like a serious commentary on maybe something that's just now anachronistic. It doesn't really fit in anymore. That's a joke that was best left behind in the 60s, or the 70s, or the 80s, or the 90s. It's weird to realize how long ago each of those eras are now. But the like Dogma. Dogma was a Kevin Smith film that was going after the Catholic Church. Book of Mormon by Matt Trey and Parker Stone. Am I saying it? Matt Parker, Trey Stone. Good Lord, I think I'm totally managing the South Park people. The South Park people who went to do the Broadway musical Book of Mormon. It rips into the Book of Mormon and the Mormon Church viciously, but you can feel underneath it that sense of the love of the material. So like the fan films or the stuff you see for Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that, or even what Rick and Morty does sometimes, you can feel how much they love the thing that they are actively eviscerating. And that's what I think has the best combination of how a changing of the tropes to make you re-examine it. I think Tangled it was one of the first things where Disney's animation studios really began to break free of its we must capture Pixar's magic kind of thing. Finally started to deal with the tropes, because Disney more than any other company has to deal with the legacies of everything from how it created all these Disney princesses to Song of the South to everything else. I mean, we were just at Disney World in Florida back in March, and they were celebrating Disney World's 50th anniversary, and signs everywhere. And as wonderful as that is, everyone knows if you dig deep enough in Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and everything else, you have those moments where there is blackface, where there is propaganda.
And it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be rectified, and it needs to not happen again. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I mean, we could get into, I don't know how much anyone who's on here is into the whole YouTube scene. It's really interesting to me how certain things cross over and certain things do not. But I'm watching the whole Colleen Ballinger mess going on, and good Lord, it is a mess. Have you paid any attention to that, babe? So Colleen Ballinger was the one who's like, haters gonna hate and wears the red lipstick all over her mouth and back off, that chick. Remember her? So she was a big deal on YouTube. Her name was, what was it? Something Sings. Miranda Sings.
Yeah, I was like, I hear like little faint. I would need to see a face in a video and go,
So she's in her 30s, dude. So she started this show on YouTube, became really popular. Then she actually had a Netflix thing. But what's come out is that she had underage people working for her for free. And then people are coming out saying, like, again, underage kids, she was texting directly with them and texting inappropriate things, like asking them about their periods and just things that that's just so across the line. And then she did things during her live shows to them that crossed the line, and a lot of them said they were scarred by it. Now, here's the worst part. When I say the worst part, I don't mean to minimize what happened to each of those underage people, because that alone, not good. But the thing people are really reacting to now is that when everyone confronted her about all this, you know what she did to respond? She made a 20-minute long ukulele.
Oh, so she's the okay. If you had said the ukulele apology,
girl. But she does not apologize at all, at all. There's a really good TikTok from this other woman
who listens to it and goes, I hear a lot of this, but I don't hear a sorry yet.
Actually, not that. She does mention that, but she talks about here's all the ways she could have done it differently and apologized. It's like, take all the money from all the sales of the people that she hurt, donate that to these two particular funds to help not let this happen again. Just all these really great concrete steps to apologize, to change, to do better. And this chick isn't doing any of it, and it's so disappointing.
How old is she now?
35?
Okay.
I don't know.
You know, the upshot is that no, I mean I don't want to make any excuses for anyone.
There's none. No.
Well, no. But it's just the concept of just human nature where you, especially if what you're saying or what you're doing gets you popular. I mean, look, if everyone.
She was texting kids.
Oh, no.
Wait, let me just finish. Like, she was texting little kids about her divorce she was going through.
Yes.
That'd be like you, like, talking to, like, your daughter's friends on text about your divorce. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's just
no. That is not. Ooh. Trust me, I am not talking about those actions as part of the thing. I'm only talking about the what happens when.
Sorry, we'll get away from this in a minute.
Exactly.
It's just like, good Lord.
No. But it's my only realization is just there are moments in all of our lives where, because none of us were born perfect, where we're going to realize that what we thought we knew, behaviors we thought were okay for whatever effed up reason, or not even realizing we have effed up reasons for doing what we're doing.
But you have to apologize. That's the key.
No. That's not what I'm getting at.
I'm interrupting again. I do that.
It's the idea that at some point, how you treat your family, how you treat yourself, how you treat yourself as an employee or as an employer, how you treat your spouse, how you treat, what happens when all those phases where when you're 14 and you're talking to 14-year-olds, no problem. When you're 21 and you might be then, but that whole thing of like that part that didn't kick in that said, okay, wait a second, these thoughts, these ideas, this behavior, I'm too old now. That the simplest thing is I'm too old or too experienced, and now, especially if it's people under 18, this has to stop.
Yeah.
But sooner or later they get called out on it, and it's that horrible thing of how you process that realization, or do you allow yourself to realize you truly effed up?
Well, and guess what? It involves millions of dollars. Taylor is saying she thinks Colleen knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
in her opinion.
But see, that's the problem, is that if you knowingly know what you're doing, whether it's underage communications, the stuff Justin Roiland's been accused of, the stuff that that whether it's cruelty to animals, cruelty to people, cruelty to money, stealing money from charities, all those things. You create something in you that makes you override that part of you that says, I think I'm doing something inappropriate or illegal or immoral or all three.
But again, it's that thing of...
And what do you do when you finally get caught?
When you get caught, how do you handle getting caught? And it's so interesting. I mean, especially, I feel like so many people, it's just that, lie, avoid.
Yep.
And then, do you ever just say, I'm sorry?
Yep.
I don't know. Anyways,
yep.
We can move on from it, but I just had to go, holy cow, what the heck?
Happy animation conversations. We go from Laugh Olympics to inappropriate text with minors.
Ugh, that did not what? To Colleen Ballinger doing inappropriate text.
Well, fine. You want to bring in your ukulele and play us out?
No. God, no. No.
She famously is. She is the ukulele player on our opening title sequence. She did a great job.
I learned the chords for that song. But I can't just pick up a ukulele.
Life is about learning enough to get out of the driveway.
I'm this way with most instruments where I'm like, okay, if I sit at the piano, I know like one or two songs. But am I a piano player? No. Same with ukulele, which actually I've already forgotten. The ukulele chords. Yes, lead me, Squeena.
We also speak.
They say Tina looks great, by the way. Squeena.
Thank you.
Yes, she's totally Squeena. We need to get all the mashup names if you want to help us out with that.
Exactly.
So is Patrick Jean? Is it Petrick?
Petrick. That just does not sound right.
Peen? We can't do Peen.
That's not
good.
Peen.
Jatrick is also bad. All of these are inappropriate. I do like Jean Patrick, though, because I have a friend named Jean Patrick from Haiti. He's just fabulous. So I like Jean Patrick. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, my God, Taylor, you played violin? Oh, my God. That one, I am fascinated. I keep going to the Salvation Armies and stuff and looking, and they do have some old violins there. And I'm so tempted, but I feel like the violin's a lot like the oboe, where... the learning curve, the poor parents who have to listen to it as you're learning, they're...
One moment while we move something to the right screen here.
I can't imagine. Yeah, ooh! Leap Meep says Jean Star. Oh my God! That's perfect, because Jean is a star.
Yep.
I mean, okay, Leap Meep. I like that. Yep, Taylor agrees. I agree. Jean Star. Perfect.
Oh, what am I doing?
Done.
I'm looking for...
We got Squeena and Squinda, really. That's kind of perfect. Squeena and Squinda. Oh, well, Sandy Squirrel.
So what you're seeing up on the screen for the moment is my wall of reference stuff.
Yeah.
As I pull images off the internet and Google searches to try... So that if I have a moment like I'm having right now, where...
Are you having a senior moment?
I'm having a senior moment, baby. And unfortunately, on these... It
comes for all of us, people, so just, be aware. Oh my God, I was watching this live stream of these two older ladies. I think they're Australian. They look like... it's something like Funk Over 50. And they're DJs. And they're really beautiful women, but they're like, in their 50s, and they're just sitting there, and one of them's totally DJing, and the other one's like answering all the questions. And they look up at the camera, and I'm like... you can like flash and see them in their like early 20s doing this. And you just have that moment where you keep forgetting, especially like when you're younger and you look at your grandparents and you're like, that's the age they always were. They were always grandma. They were never a child. They were never a teen. They never had dreams. They're just grandma and grandpa. That's just the way it is. And in fact, this coffee's really hitting me. Can you tell, guys?
The caffeine is there.
There's a really great Ray Bradbury short story that touches on this concept, where it's this old woman sitting on her porch and this little kid talking to her and saying, well, you were always this age. And the woman, just that concept of perspective and point of view and the different sides of each other that we know. I gotta find it. It's so good. I know. But this keeps me going, because otherwise I'm sitting here and, oh my God, my hip. My leg!
My leg!
I gotta go to the physical therapy, man.
So the reason why I'm zooming in so much here is that realization of how Tina's frames actually
What are you doing, Cadbury egg?
No, I'm doing radio.
Oh, you realize you were sounding like the Cadbury bunny.
Well, that's not.
Oh yes,
difference.
Total difference.
Actually, there is.
Uh huh.
Oh my god, I love it. Yes, someone saw a 7-year-old playing Skyrim and Dark Souls. Oh, there's all kinds of grandmas. What was that, Granny with a gun? There are so many retired people on TikTok doing live streams of them playing video games, which will be me sometime.
Yep.
I'm just getting into video games.
Yep.
Now that the kids are out of the house, I feel like, okay, now I can play these and suck at it and not feel like
one of our new things. Cause it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. So one of the just making sure that
hello.
Well, yeah, there's something.
YouTube.
Yeah, every now and then. YouTube was like, for the first hour was doing just fine. Now suddenly it's like, so I think it's our lovely internet here. Despite us paying for AT&T fiber.
You guys have got to read Ray Bradbury. There's just so many good stories. Anyways, go ahead.
Yep. So we're already into hour 2. So hello everyone. How are we doing here anyway? Wow, we're actually not doing too bad. We've got 4 people in the room. Hello, 4 people in the room.
Yeah, Taylor's saying she hasn't watched YouTube in weeks. It's true. Sorry, Taylor, forgive me. I'm using the pronoun she. If I'm wrong, please let me know. If anyone's in a repetitive conversation with us during this live stream and I mispronoun you, please let me know. I really want to make sure I am using the right ones. My preferred are actually technically they, but I'm fine with she. So I just, again, my age range group, it's not something that I'm as needing to force upon people, but
There's the problem.
Okay, Taylor's a she. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, YouTube's interesting right now. It's going through a thing.
It's going through a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't YouTube always going through a thing?
That's true. Yeah.
So, for those of you playing along at home, it's just those realizations that sometimes you will look at something you drew a while ago and you go, there's a glitch, a bubble, the line doesn't look totally clean. Again, if this were a whole studio, this would be handed off to the cleanup artists, and their whole job is to just go through and find where the lines are a little, janky or off or out of alignment. And I'm trying to figure out why some of these look just a little. You can see a little nubbin right there.
Nubbin.
And when you've spent 30 years staring at friggin' vector lines and Photoshop layers, it's like it's part of your job, whether it's for Netflix or Sephora or a Broadway show. It's like, yeah, it's your job to make sure. I spent that. My side work today was on Mrs. Doubtfire the musical, Mamma Mia the musical, which is currently in its 25th year, so I'm working on their 25th anniversary art. And you have to make sure that whether you're working on the poster that goes along the side of the building or a tiny little banner that'll show up on your iPhone, that everything is done properly. And then we even have proofers who came back to me a couple days ago that were just going, on this scale banner, it looks like the bottom line is a little off. And you're like, oh, and you're checking it. Or Mamma Mia had an issue with using TM versus R for its registration and stuff and trademarks. And that's one of the reasons why I wear bifocals now, is that you spend a great deal of time staring and zooming in on things that 99.9% of the people going to the show or checking out the ad would never see. But they're not the ones being paid to make sure it's good. You do not want a Broadway show's producer come roaring down your company's throat because of something you could have caught but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Yeah, see, there's this line right here. It's just a little... And I'm trying to get this line to work, and it won't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's cleaner in my eyes.
You mean her eyes?
Oh well. Oh well. Guess you're not doing the voice now.
I'm doing Jean.
Oh well.
We both want to do Jean. Jean is just... Well, it's Patrick. Patrick is so fun. Poor Squidward. No one even wants to do his voice.
No,
Terrible.
I tell you what, I wanted to, but I discovered when we were doing the auditions, I thought because of just the general tonality and brassiness of him.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. And as I was in the we were in the audio booth when we did the temp track, and she did it, and I've listened to her temp track stuff a lot, and that was already giving me a suggestion of like, I think she's more in the ballpark of a Tina Squidward than I am, but I still wanted to give it a shot. And what I found is that whenever I'm trying to do Squidward's it's part nasally, but it's a very full voice. And the actor, I forget his name, can push it in very interesting ways.
Yeah.
That's why they pay him the dollars, hopefully the big bucks.
Yeah, if you really study the voices, I mean, they're all really talented. I mean, we are going to be doing as best we can to honor each voice, but we both are fully aware we are not those voice actors. Okay, yep. No one can.
We have moments. Both of us have moments where we can not only get into the range, but we can hit the bullseye, which is great. We were even listening to the auditions, and we just go, "Damn!" The other one was like, it's that thing. As with many art forms and sports, it's like when it connects, you just hear it and you go, "Yep, she nails it," or "I nailed it."
Moment,
yeah. But sometimes it takes like 3 takes of trying to do. Even in the Plankton teaser I did months ago,
yep. There's
moments where he gets very angry. And it's different from his standard voice.
And then it kind of blows out. Yeah,
and trying to hit that, it took a few there we go, that's the take, and run with it. Yeah. I've watched the Toon Sandwich folks, who it's very similar to us, where it's a husband and wife team. I think in Australia or New Zealand. I can't remember where they're from.
Are they on TikTok?
Oh yeah, if you look up Toon Sandwich, no.
Sandwich?
Well, I don't know if they're on TikTok. I'd be surprised if they weren't, but they definitely are on YouTube. And you've seen some of their stuff. You'll recognize them the moment you see it. But it's very much the same and if you watch the behind the scenes videos, they're taking sometimes editing word from different takes just to assemble one vocal track that sounds like Harrison Ford, Jack Black.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Now, a quick few comments that came through Leap Meep. I can't stand it when my lines have a wee flaw. I always want the smallest pixel to be perfect, which we both were like, yeah, we feel you.
Yep.
Taylor wishes, by watching this, that she could have taken computer coding classes when she was in school. And then Taylor was asking, have either of us seen Midnight Gospel? She loved that show. I watched an episode, and it was trippy AF, and I really liked it, and then I didn't get back to it. I've got to keep watching it. She feels like she's watching one of those episodes. That's adorable. I got to add that to my list. And I got to chew off this hangnail, because I do. Okay. I'm going to find Toon Sandwich. Hello, Toon Sandwich. Come here, Sandwich. There you are.
Yeah, I have to imagine they have.
Yeah, I thought so. It's those guys. Yep. They're really good.
Yeah, and look,
I'm not as into their stuff, but they are so effing good.
Yeah, and they also can get a lot of accents, a lot of voices.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
They're really good. And look, they struggle with the same thing that we struggle with here, that we've been doing with Movie Boy for years, where they're in the online world of small people, of just one man band or tiny teams doing animation. What a big surprise. Even if you're just rigging puppets, whatever it is, animation is friggin' hard. Just ask any of them who do it. It is painstaking, and it doesn't help that we are flooded in a world where people have at least enough of a budget to take the whole thing and throw it in Indonesia or South Korea or Thailand
and then I feel like, are they exploiting those workers over there?
Well,
I don't know.
Hey, the curiosity. I mean, the on one scale, it just turns into if you just simply tell a company, hey, this company's here, cost of living, just comparatively to the American dollar, is this, or the country or the state will give you tax benefits because you went to do it in that country or in Georgia. I'm originally from Minnesota, and so there was a period where Jesse Ventura, just like when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California. It's funny, I keep picking states where there were former people of Predator became the governor of the state for a brief time. But
Predator the movie.
Yes. Yeah, the original Predator, because there's been a lot of even Predator, the Predator, and everything.
Well, the newest one, Prey, was fabulous.
Yeah.
You guys, highly recommend. Really good.
But when Jesse Ventura was governor of Minnesota, they really tried. There's a group called the Ice Pack, and all it really is just people, filmmakers from Minnesota who would be like in Los Angeles or whatnot. And we have Ice Pack conventions. Unfortunately, back then, our guests of honor with I can't remember if Governor Ventura was there. I think he was. But the guest of honor back then, just because of stuff, ramble.
Or where are we going with this?
Well,
what was the point of this?
Well, the point of this is the idea of the budget.
Suddenly got tired. My fault.
It's
right, the budget. Okay,
and look, so is there probably exploitation? It's animation, yes.
The Animators Guild should be blended with WGA.
Yeah,
they're not.
Just
animators. Animation writers are not covered.
Yeah. The animation writers of even your most popular shows that have multiple seasons these days, more often than not, a studio gets to decide. There's no governing rule that says if I'm making this animation for Max or Netflix or Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, there's no hard and fast rule that says the writers have to be, that the production has to be a Writers Guild production.
They should.
It should, but it doesn't have to be.
So they don't. So
more often than not, to save money and to cut corners, they will make the show a Toon Guild Association, TGA. Mm-hmm. So the Toon Guild, or is it Toon Guild or Animators Guild? I think it's Toon. It can't be Toon. That doesn't sound.
TAG. So it's something. It's TAG.
The Animators Guild.
There you go.
The Animators Guild. And if it's the Animators Guild, you don't have to pay as much. You don't have to have as big of a writer room. You don't have. I think the residuals and everything else are shifted differently. So there was a writer on TikTok who said, 80 to 90%. The writers will ask, hey, producers, and showrunners, can we make this a Writers Guild one? And more often than not, they will say no. So if it's animation, even on the biggest levels, I'm sure it's just, it's kind of like the video games and everything else. It gets a lot of attention. It makes a lot of money. But the animators, anyone who's not a creator or anyone who is not the voice. I mean, so if you are...
But even the creators are getting screwed now.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, the streaming people are the ones who are playing the heaviest cards so that you can have a successful show. But the way the contract was built, no one's making what they used to make if it was a Cartoon Network show that went on for years. I don't know how we're going to how the industry is going to work its way out of the knots they have tied into by allowing people to always use the excuse, but this is a new platform, a new technology, a new thing, and we're risking so much money. If you just, it's like the variation of just like, we'll give you the exposure, we'll give you a guaranteed 2 seasons.
Anytime someone writes you and says it's great exposure, my recommendation, run.
Run fast, run far.
That job. Even if you look at it and go, wow, this is great exposure, trust me, they're gonna abuse you in one way or the other. Okay? Yep. So, no.
Oh, what a surprise. We've got another bad line in here. So we're going to see if we can get rid of that. That didn't work.
Do your what's his name?
Do your what's his name? Do it! Dance, monkey, dance!
The guy where the parrot humped the guy, but not
the parrot? Wait. Oh.
So if we were watching the parrot that was doing the thing on the photographer, and Stephen Fry was watching, but we watched that because you thought it was
David Attenborough.
Do your David Attenborough. Do Freebird.
And
Freebird.
Here we see the balloon animator trying hard to work on his glasses, but in the land of TikTok. I'm not quite getting it.
Yes, that's pretty. No, I like it. Keep going.
But here in the land of... I'm getting a little too airy high, not airy low.
The female comes in and messes with it.
Messes with... The female has been caffeinated. Now that the caffeine... She eats the magic berries. And now that she's eaten the magic berries, her activity flares. Perhaps Perhaps she will go into a mating dance.
No! No mating on TikTok.
Or if anything else, she begins vocalizations that you can hear throughout the forest. Many trees away, other females hear the caffeination cries. She's wearing her blue plumage today. A striking color.
This is my get a mate dance.
Yeah.
Worked on you.
No, back then it was the unicorn. She wore the sign. Going back to the unicorn, Warriors Eternal. Yep. That was one of those magical signs that, yep, you better grab this pony and hold on for dear life.
Taylor's like, I don't drink coffee or energy drinks. Yeah, that's probably a good plan.
That's probably a good plan. Oh,
Yum,
see,
yum.
here's the deal, and I can't zoom in any further. And that's when you go.
Leafy says National Animator Graphic.
Oh, what just happened there? I just activated.
Activate.
I activated the wrong tool because I hit the button on my pen, and then the thing, and it's all just gonna go worse from here.
Yeah.
That is just not right. It's this. I'm not going to redraw it. I'm going to find... Oh, and that's not working. Here she's going to be one of those points where I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to go with the robot.
Robot.
Sometimes you just can't get it to kick. Oh, and there we go.
Okay, good.
There was an extra point in there.
I
I know. It's just like it's a laugh a minute here in Shea Sorensen. All right. All that just to...
We totally love that in regular show you've got Mitch and Starla Sorenstein.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah, I'm noticing problems here. Obviously, these pupils don't work when it's just one side here. We've got a pupil in the hairline and another one here. But just something just as simple as rotating the head.
That looks awesome.
It's getting there.
Yeah. Taylor says she's glad she woke up when she did. She could have missed this live. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we just appreciate y'all being here because, again, it just forces us to show up and get shit done. Mm-hmm. What we're trying to do.
And hey, it's a joy for everyone. I mean, what else are you going to do? What are you else going to do on a Sunday morning? Go to church?
I went to so much church growing up, y'all. Like, anyone who gives me shit about, why don't you go to church? I'm like, I did all the church for a lifetime in the space of 18 years. I am set. Oh, almost 20 years. Good Lord.
All right.
No more church for me. You like church? You go right ahead. No judgment. As long as you're not judging others. Just cut the judgery Jew. I love how my calendar keeps telling me people's birthdays who I haven't talked to in 20 years. They're somehow still on my calendar. I'm like, who the hell is this person? And I don't care.
Because in the 2000s, especially the late 2000s, it was all about Apple or Facebook or Twitter helping you to not have to, like, oh great, this thing is on this app, but it's not in my calendar, or this or that. And so it was all about connect, make it, and ultimately make you more reliant on that technology or that whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we have all I'm curious, because for the Gen Xers, yeah, it's turned into, once upon a time we used to know everyone's number. I worked with
I even tried memorizing our kids' phone numbers, and then I kept forgetting.
And I keep forgetting it too.
We just go to the phone.
Yep.
The iPhone now.
Yep. But the weird thing
That's
is,
terrible, isn't
yeah,
it?
that realization that
Terrible.
if you are suddenly separated from your phone and your browser and you cannot get online in any way, and you have, let's go real basic. We'll go to a landline. You're at a place that all they have is a landline, and
Are there even landlines anymore?
There are, but another TikTok just talked about how really the only people who have landlines these days are old. They're the boomers and some Gen Xers. They're homeowners more often than not, but Yeah.
Well, businesses will still
Businesses still will, but then the pandemic came and shattered a whole lot of that. Where at least even if they have landlines, those landlines exist to forward to your Microsoft Teams or your Google line, whatever it is. But yeah,
Taylor says the family's number is the only one that she remembers. I still remember. I can say these now because they're not my families anymore. So you can call them if you want, but they're not.
Well, if you don't give the area code, then you're
469-8951.
Yep.
That was the house phone. What was your house phone?
My house phone when I was from like age 9 to roughly college age was 441-5972.
There you go. And then to memorize my mom and dad's work numbers, somebody, a family friend taught me. He gave me a song for each one.
Cool.
So my dad was 9664000, and then my mom's was 434-2100. I love it.
It almost sounds like you're launching into Rent.
It does, right? But no. Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm gonna see if I can get away with using this previously made shape for the open smile. Yeah. And the test will be once I put Squidward's lips around it, does it still look like a proper Squidward, or am I just gonna have to scratch it? Which is not a big problem if it is. It's just we got a lot of stuff to do here.
Listen to this. Leap Beep says, I want one of those phones where the speaker is a cup and you have to turn a wheel for the number.
Right.
I'm not laughing at you. I am laughing at you.
I almost said that's a rotary phone, but
it's not. It's an old tiny phone. It's the box on the wall. And you got there's a cup you talk into, and then you hold the other one to your ear. Yep. But then you've got the dial.
Yeah, you've got the rotary dial, but you've got the old tubes.
So the rotary dial is all cute now, but honestly, back in the day when you were in a rush, it was so frustrating because you're trying to go dun 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 dun, especially for nines.
Yep.
And if you're trying to go fast, if you can imagine, it was a pain in the ass. So when the actual buttons came out, where it was just beep beep beep, everyone was so happy. It was kind of like everyone now likes to romanticize women's ladies' garments, the nylons that clip into the little clips. They love that. Oh my God. My mom was like, no, screw those clips. Everyone was so happy when they had pantyhose that was just one piece. You put it on and you moved on. It was like, it's so fascinating now. We move back to these things like, oh, this is kitschy and fun. I too would like an old-timey rotary phone in my house. I love them. So, for the record. I love that. A wheel. That's so perfect. That is so perfect.
Yep. Yeah, I had those moments when I briefly thought about like, oh, just put that somewhere, put the landline and put it in an old phone. That of course works like a modern phone, but looks like one of them old timey things like you get out in the old West. Yep. Although you watch enough movies, you begin to realize how late in the process certain technologies truly died off that wasn't showing up in movies anymore, and you go, ooh, I thought that was older than it should have been. Let's see. So we're doing the same thing here, and we want to fill it up, but if I try and use the paint bucket tool, it's going to spray out, or actually it's not going to load at all. So I have to draw a fakey fake. I have to draw basically a guideline here. I'm not even sure what they call it. Why am I not getting the tool?
Whatever you want it to be, my dear.
It's whatever I want it. There we go. So I do a different color line here for the area where I want it to close.
Got this music memorized now.
Yeah, we'll have to find a new...
It's very calming. I just am ready to sleep now.
Well, yeah, once you've done it across enough... why did it take the... Oh, I know why. I swear. Animate.
Limi says, whenever I draw, I know the paint bucket is easier, but it feels better to just fill it in by hand. Do you agree with that? What eventually will happen, and yeah, because I feel the same way. It's that way with when you're in Procreate, Animate. There are plenty of times where I want to kind of go in and do it, but you just get into this place of
especially if you're doing so many frames, because here's what I actually really like to do, and I'm kind of not doing it this way because I'm just kind of focusing differently, is that what I'll usually do is kind of assembly line this whole process. So I will draw the outline, go to the next frame, draw the outline of around the lips, go to the next, and then when I choose the paint bucket tool, I can just go fill, next frame, fill, next frame, fill, next frame, fill, next frame. And those moments of being able to cut it down, because there are plenty of times when I'm trying to push past midnight, trying to push past 2 a.m. to get something done. Getting crabs ready for the reveal last Sunday, I was up till 3 a.m. on Saturday. And trust me, as much as I love filling it in, so I'll usually do that more for the backgrounds. If I feel for the backgrounds. But here's the other goofy thing. Because of the way the layers are done, with character, whether it's a character, well, especially if it's something in front, if it's a character, if it's the counter, if it's a condiment, here's the deal. You will sit there in Photoshop or Animate or Procreate, and you will hand paint in Mr. Crab's head with his red. You will paint it in, and you'll paint in his suit. And then you think, looks fantastic. Then you bring him into the animation, and then you put something behind him. And suddenly you're seeing the purple wall poke through these tiny little holes that you missed in the head, in the suit, and everything else. So I think it's probably one of the many reasons why, especially for background artists, and probably even for this, they'll do what's called blocking. And all that is you take your first layer, is that you just, if it's a building, you outline that whole building and you just fill it in with one color. So that at the very least, if your truck moves behind the building, you do not see the truck suddenly like, wait, what's going on here? And you see little bits of something poking through. Yep. Because you've got one solid layer that you know all the pixels are full, and maybe then you just do the hand painting on front of it. And it just guarantees that you don't end up having to dig into the layers later on, or notice when you think you're almost done with the shot that a part of a suit, a part of a hair, a part of a patch, is not working. Or a character walks behind someone and suddenly you see SpongeBob's yellow poking through Linda. So all that stuff.
He's poking through.
I got nothing but long answers for everything.
They're all listening.
They're listening. And right now, the frustration is that one of the greatest frustrations I have with Animate is that they have all these brush tools to draw the lines. And there's ways to even make the lines be this form or that form. And it's just, I have not found my perfect thing yet that does what I needed to. I should be able to just tap this green and then it just goes away. But instead it's selecting the black with it. So if I hit delete, I delete the whole damn thing.
Whole damn thing.
Whole damn thing.
Whole damn
so
thing.
maybe I can tell the object to be all the same color. Okay, there. That helps solve that particular issue.
Yep, Taylor says frustrating.
But I should not have had to have done so much just to make it work. And then here, it did delete off, so I got to redraw that line.
And I helped.
You are helping in so many ways.
Oh, yeah.
We were, speaking of how the show is doing, one of the things we're working on right now is the music. It's SpongeBob and Bob's Burgers. You can't do a premiere episode without some singing. So,
oh yeah, which song are we singing today?
Oh, I don't know.
I still just want to do F is for fires that burn something something. U is for uranium bomb. That is for no survivors.
Yep.
That's just still.
Yeah. The FUN song. It was funny.
It's just the FU.
I had a moment where I was doing that in the audition, and I realized I'd forgotten some of the words. I was like, was it F is for friend? F is for friendship. The fine is, it's like fine is, see, I'm confusing it with my own lyrics, because we're doing some fun stuff with that song. But F is for friendship. Yeah, what's the F is for friendship?
F is for no survivors.
What are we? Yeah, you've got Google. What is the SpongeBob fun song lyrics?
Okay.
If you want to do some singing, you gotta find the words.
I like. I'm also thinking of The Gravy Boat song. SpongeBob F-U-N song. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere at any time at all. Down here in the deep blue sea. Now you try it. Go ahead.
Let's see. Well,
F is for fire that burns down the whole town.
all right. With just kind of getting into it. F is for fire that burns the whole town. Well, I lost the notes.
You're doing great.
F is for fire that burns down the whole town. U is for uranium.
That's not how he does it. It's he goes like, F is for fire that burns down the whole town.
Yeah,
then he catches up.
Right.
U is for uranium.
Yep.
Bombs.
N is for no survivors.
No. Plankton, that's not right.
Those things aren't what fun is about. Now, do it like this. Do it.
Wait, now I have to.
Okay, now we have requests. We want the pizza song and the shoelace song and the musical doodle. So you know any of those? Hey Corbin, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Wait, give me the first one that was the pizza
song.
Oh God. Crusty.
He knows the spongy song.
Well, the pizza, the Krusty Krab pizza, it's like helps. SpongeBob.
I always like for the Gravy Boat song. My brain always just kicks in for fill with savory, cravery, sailor folk. Sailors in your mouth, sailors in your mouth. That's what Thanksgiving is all about.
Oh, fandom.
Yep.
Let's see if they actually have it here. Let's see.
Krusty Krab pizza is a pizza. Absolutely.
And
wow.
The fandom site is like it's been like, let's throw this video, let's throw this in the way, throw this in the way. Just like I just want to look. At least it's not as bad as recipe sites where you go, I want to look at this recipe. But first, for the next 20 pages, I'm going to tell you about the history and all the ways that you're just like, I want the recipe. I want the recipe, please.
I'll go back if I feel like it to learn.
Krusty Krab pizza is a pizza
For you and me. I can't remember if he just keeps that.
All right.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's funny, you have all these iconic things that you've seen a million times, and then when you try and sing it, you go, wait, how do they do it? I forgot this time. I'll work on it later. For now, I'm going to put this mouth down here.
I just love, it's Thanksgiving for everybody, except for Europeans.
Do you want to do the Thanksgiving Bob Belcher song?
Well, which one?
The Gravy Boat one.
Well, the other one is Pass. The cranberry sauce
and mashed potatoes.
Oh, the turkey looks great.
Lynn.
Thank you for loving me.
Lynn.
Thank you for being there. Thank you for loving me. Everyone's thanking.
Oh,
we're thanking you. Thanking me for thanking you. Pass the turkey.
I thought it's kill the turkey.
Oh, kill the turkey.
Kill the turkey.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we finally have some singing in here. What a surprise.
I love running down the gutter with a piece of bread and butter. Diarrhea.
Yep.
Diarrhea.
So you pooped your pants.
Sorry we're late, Bob poop. Sorry we're late, Bob had diarrhea.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god.
God, this crabs one is the creepiest.
Oh my god, do you remember this one? Let's see if I can get it. Hold on. Derek Demotopoulos. Your neck hair makes me weak. Won't you enter my Acropolis and make my yogurt Greek? Huh, yeah.
Talking about you.
Derek, let's you and me make a reunion.
Yeah,
I'm in the wrong key because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Derek, let's you and me make a reunion. And then Linda comes in.
Tonight.
And then she's like,
You're doing you almost sound like a donkey being. Yeah, you're right. You are no. She does.
I love that. I love that one. I think I definitely did the wrong. Oh, we love Harry Truman. There goes the hair, and here goes the hair.
Where is Harry Truman? He's dead in the ground. He's dead in the ground. He's dead. Ow! Ow!
Gentle touch.
Yeah, a mother's touch is
Mother's gentle
mentions
touch.
mother's gentle touch.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing here as I'm trying,
do that from now
as
on.
I'm trying to bring in Mr. Krabs as much as possible into Squidward stuff. What I've just discovered as I recheck my references is that Squidward's teeth come down with a harder corner, and we never see the actual, at least in the episode I'm looking at here, his lines between his teeth never show up. It's always just.
Yep.
So I've got to do some modifications.
Yep.
Teeth top. So what happens here is that the way you don't have the teeth show up. So if we just show the top of the teeth, that looks wrong. But this is just.
She looks like she's from Hannibal Lecter.
Yep. So you've got the line of that smile. And you want the teeth, you don't want the teeth to be precisely in there so that if the smile's a little wider or changing shape, you don't want suddenly to have to redraw the teeth. You want to draw them once and use them as much as you can. But then you need to mask it out, so you have to create a mask layer. So there's a mouth mask. But the moment you unlock any layer, it all falls apart. So
Tooth watermelon. Magnum P.I. Tina.
And the bottom teeth, same thing. So I need these teeth to not have. Oh, these lines are janky. But they don't exist in Squidward Tina's mouth. Oops, that one. Yep.
The ding ding.
The ding ding. The ding ding. The ding ding.
Love the ding ding. That's one of the best.
You could have been on the ground floor. Okay, so we need to turn off the top layer so I can see.
Avocannoloni.
Oh, put a cannoli in your holy.
Yes. I'll put a cannoli in your holy, Bob.
I think he says that to Jimmy. Jimmy comes in and says something snarky.
I think Linda says
because
it.
Jimmy. To Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah. Not Bob.
Right.
Okay, yeah. We are agreeing.
We are agreeing. We don't realize we're agreeing, but we're agreeing.
Corbin wants the. He does her, she does her.
PM in the PM. She does her BM in the PM. Number one, but number two. Something's up for me.
For me and you, girl. She does her
BM
in the PM.
The great thing about the actor who does Linda is that as far as like a voice actor,
Good Lord.
he snuck into doing so much of the music, especially in the early seasons, where you need a Michael McDonald or you need someone to do. I think he's the one who does the.
Lifting up the skirt of the night.
Well, no, lifting up the skirt of the night, but he also does. I think he does the. Don't you forget about me? So don't you love cotton candy?
Don't you?
Yeah.
Love cotton
candy. Yeah.
Don't. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
good.
but what's funny is that
Talented
if you
motherfucker.
listen to him long enough, when he begins to, because in so much of Bob's Burgers songs, there'll be a moment where you start leaving the impression behind and adding a little more emotion, and you'll have those moments when you're listening. And this is the same with the actor who does a lot of the stuff on Gravity Falls. The guys who do a lot of the voices on regular show, there are moments where the emotion shifts and then you hear another character leaking in, and that's when we turn to each other and go, yeah, that's definitely Linda. That's the actor who does Linda.
I love it when he does that.
Yep.
I mean, but here's the thing: you can tell if John Roberts wanted to, John Roberts could go full into whatever thing. But it is Bob's Burgers, so it's okay to let these things leak in because that's part of the charm. I love it. I didn't realize Laurent Bouchard does a bunch of these. A bunch of these songs, he's on them.
Okay.
He's doing the ones like, it's not magic, it's tragic, woo! And slumber party fashion show.
You know what's
funny? From head to toe.
Because
so he's doing a lot of those cute little who.
I would have thought that because John Benjamin has a lot of fun playing in a higher register. He may be, but I thought he would be more of the.
Yeah, this is so cool to see.
Let's see. I need a tool I don't normally use.
So I'll bet he did shrimp in houses.
Yep.
Love it.
I need the convert tool to edge these out.
I still love, one of my favorite moments is when Linda's trying to get the chicken to make an egg. Now. Make an egg roll from your egg hole. We're gonna beat it, and then we'll eat it. Oh my god. So good. So good.
The exciting world of Tom works on teeth. Oh. I just need...
Muse dance. Yep, see, Laurent Bouchard. So he's doing all those cute little things up there. That's so cool.
He's doing the doot-doots. All right, let's see if let's see if this works a little better.
Taylor's making chicken waffles. Look out! Look out! I love it. I want that again.
Oh, we made some mean chicken and waffles not too long ago.
You did. You made them. I ate them. It was amazing. You make it. I'll eat it.
So, as before mentioned, we now have teeth without the lines in, and we've got the interior of the mouth, and I gotta make sure that's the same color. There's a general consistency in SpongeBob of the interior of their mouths, what color they use as far as the... Yep, that looks like the same color. What's weird is that Squidward's pupils appear to be that same red as the interior of a lot of the characters' mouths. So I'll have to see if that's consistent. But that would look weird with Tina. I think we'll keep black pupils for that. So we go back over here. And so now if I turn on the mask, boink, now we actually have the teeth inside the lips. But what we still don't have is good, proper, non Mr. Krabs lips. We need Squidward lips. So we're going Squid lips. So I need to go in and I need to... What are you doing? Wait, did I put this on the... No, I couldn't have put this on the outer. Or did I? No. There it is.
Hey, Travis. What's up?
Hey, Travis! All right.
Corbin, you've never had chicken and waffles? Let me tell you, I was not sure at first. It's incredible. Trust me. Delicious. Highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
But don't just get frozen nuggets and Eggo waffles. That you got to do it really good. Travis wants to know, where is the show premiering, Tom?
So here's where we're at this point, because as awesome, I mean, look, as far as audience goes,
awesome.
TikTok has been bigger than anything we could have imagined. We love it.
Yep.
But the episode is going to be in 16:9. It's going to be in HD, just like an episode of Bob's Burgers or the later seasons of SpongeBob. Mm-hmm. TikTok is not happy with that, and I don't like the idea of taking an episode and just crunching it into a vertical thing with a big black zone on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
Second problem is that the episode, especially if we do the big musical number or whatnot, is going to longer than the longest length, and I don't want to do a part 1 and a part 2 of the thing.
Enjoy the whole, because the timing and everything.
So,
with all that in mind,
YouTube, for at least the first couple weeks, or maybe just the first week,
kind of like the pre-release on AMC, followed by
because we'll definitely do. We're going to do a live streaming party also here on TikTok. So we're going to sit here. We'll do a live stream.
Then you can watch it through our live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, and so you can either enjoy it with us, but again, unless something happens, I don't know if we need.
Unless Georgia shuts the hell up.
Unless we need maybe they give you a stream key after 10,000 followers, and we're right on the edge of 6,000 followers.
Yeah, we could be spending our whole stream going, we need followers, follow now, follow. You've seen those streams and you're like...
It's for vertical video, and that is not, that's problematic for it. So we're definitely going to have teasers. We're definitely going to have trailers. We're definitely going to have more live streams and more behind the scenes stuff.
Eventually you're going to have to go to the old-timey YouTube.
Now, on our profile page, you just jump over and you hit the YouTube button.
Yeah.
Or you look up Movie Boy on YouTube and you will find it. And the hope is that maybe that's what it will finally take for the YouTube audience to really see this too. Even the title sequence. The title sequence here has... I think somewhere around 320,000 views. That's remarkable. The same title sequence on YouTube on the Movie Boy channel has 1,600 views.
Yep.
So, it's a really weird thing. And on Instagram, I've got 80. It's like, yay, Instagram! Meta, you're doing so wonderful for allowing stuff to get out there.
Yeah, poo on them.
So we want to respect TikTok because TikTok has given us nothing but love. But yeah, so YouTube, it'll definitely be on YouTube, and in the week coming up to it, we're going to be going crazy. We'll be throwing stuff on TikTok and teasers behind the scenes, and we'll do the live stream. So we'll still make it happy here. But yes, to see the episode, and the good news is that obviously YouTube is built to be seen on your smart TVs, on your consoles, on your laptops, on your desktops. It's been around since 2004. It knows you will have a million different ways to see it on as big of a screen that you can possibly do it. TikTok, it takes a little bit more to do that. And I want this to be big with good sound. I am planning to do at least a good stereo mix. Yeah. Which, if you've got your headphones on your iPhone,
we'll need to think about subtitles because a lot of people still want subtitles.
Yep.
But we want to have a good sound mix, so that's just the big complaint now. The sound mixes on everything are just off.
Well, yeah, and that's a function of there's so many complicating factors. Everything from home theaters to Dolby Atmos to 7.1 sound now, and it's just simply that. And it's even stuff like there's so many things on you get a TV that tries to be helpful and say, well, actually give you different speakers and do this and there's different functions to help smoothen your image or work on the colors or do this for your sound. But it's kind of like the problems that you have with PCs where there are so many different ways a person can make a PC that Microsoft and Windows or Google and their platform, they've got to deal with all the possible ways you could have set up your speakers or your headphones or your sound settings or your card settings or your CPU settings or all that stuff. And our main home theater set up. We've removed all the home theater stuff. It is now just one TV. But it's a 2011 3D Panasonic Plasma, and we just got.
We make our stuff last.
Yes, and we just hooked up a PlayStation 5 to it, and there are certain functions that the PlayStation 5 goes, sorry,
like,
you can't.
What?
What? The what?
Do what?
Yeah. But. And so when you make a show on Netflix...
Buttworms.
Buttworms? Are we launching into more songs?
You said butt.
I said butt!
I thought worms.
You say butt. I say worms.
Butt.
Worms.
Worms.
Butt.
I say Carrie. You say Okie. Carrie. Why does that never work?
There we go. Wait. Why?
Rage below.
What are you doing over there? Oh, another point where they just randomly decided to put 2 points. Oh no. Oh jeez. Animate. Why are you such a pain? Why do you vex me so?
What are those little toilet cleaners, salt shaker, pepper things say assimilate?
No. That's not what they
What do
say.
they say?
Exterminate.
Exterminate. Assimilate, exterminate. I mean,
The Borg say assimilate. The Daleks say exterminate. Get your things in a...
do you think maybe the salt shakers are just the Borg's toilets? Well, there's got to be there's a crossover. Borgs and salt shakers.
I'm mildly concerned for everything you say.
What are they called? The Daleks. So
Yes.
the Borgs and the Daleks. I think that should be a mashup.
Borgs and Daleks?
Yeah.
Doctor Who
What
and
if
Star
you had
Trek?
like them dating, like on a dating app, and the Borgs going assimilate, and the Daleks going exterminate, and they're trying to like talk to each other, but it just they keep talking past each other.
You know, the crazy thing is, she's actually got a good idea
Ah!
boiling over there.
Yep. I do that.
Why?
Sometimes.
What are you doing? So you choose the convert anchor point tool, which means when you touch a point, it should convert.
Making a beep beep sound.
Yeah, I don't know what's...
It's not happy with you.
It does not like... Now it's suddenly working again. But it's just not doing what it should be doing. Oh, and I've lost touch with it again. What is... And now I'm getting no response whatsoever.
Yep.
Oh,
Die.
die. Let's check Hui on here. We're in Animate.
By the way, I don't know if you all noticed the t-shirt that Tom is wearing. If any of you all are dealing with the Grimace incident, he doesn't have a Grimace shirt, but he does have a McCheese shirt.
And to be honest, she's actually nailing it. I'm wearing this now that we're in July and we've left behind the Grimace shake incident.
Are they already gone? Are we gonna get to taste one? We can make our own.
We didn't go to McDonald's at all in June.
Nope.
So
Hooray!
now apparently they're going to be
calories.
leaving soon. They may still be there, but yep, it's officially July 2nd now, so we may have missed the boat. Kind of like when you go to get
Yeah, far enough.
why can't the green ones? What are the green ones called?
Oh, Shamrock Shake.
Yeah, the Shamrock Shake. Because the character then for you old people that started the Shamrock Shake was, and what's funny is it was Grimace's uncle. Uncle McGrimacy was his name, and he was a green
No
Grimace.
way! You're kidding!
Yep.
Dude.
So there was the
Grimace
commercial was
Lord.
like to introduce the Shamrock Shake, because back then it was the Hamburglar and the Fry Guys and Birdie and Ronald and all that. So every February into March, Uncle McGrimacy, so they'd have a song. There was a song. I was like, Shamrock Shakes, they're a beautiful green, the most beautiful green that green's ever seen. Shamrock Shakes, they're a beautiful green, Uncle McGrimacy. And yeah, and that was the iconic thing that when I was a kid would announce the green shakes. So it makes perfect sense that if they were going to bring in a new color, it would be Grimace related. But what TikTok did with it, chef's kiss.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And it's funny how
That was really beautiful.
it's funny. And someone was even commenting just how quickly it roared into place and how quickly it's probably going to vanish. And people will suddenly be like, "Wait, oh, that's right. That's the thing that happened back in for 1 week in June. Everyone was doing the Grimace Shake incident."
Yep.
And what was crazy about that, and it makes perfect sense why that one took off. All you needed was your TikTok, your phone, and a shake.
Yep.
What could be more simple? And then coming up with some creative way that you off yourself to finish off. That's all you need, and some creepy music underneath it, which in TikTok is like, look up
Easy
horror
as
music,
hell.
boom.
Yeah. True.
So that means that everyone who thought up a new idea for it could easily do that, and that's the amazing thing of like some of these trends. Some of these trends you see it like some guy doing, some incredible backflip fail, whatever it is, and people are going like, yeah, I'm not doing that one. I am not grabbing my skateboard and checking myself into the emergency room. But if it's something like barfing up, I mean, some people went. Who is it? Is it the guy who's been famous? I think ever since like the age of Vine, who does a lot of those like optical illusion. He jumps in and out of cars.
Oh.
Something King. But it's not Ryan King. It's not
Anybody
Jack
know?
King. Anyone know? But he did his version. And for his,
Yeah.
he's inside the car. He's talking about it. He takes a sip. He gets for halfway through the sentence. But then it explodes. Ooh. So that means the stunt they pull off, probably in a balloon or something like that, is they filled it up with a milky purple substance and blew out the interior of a car. So some detailer got the aftermath of an exploding shake inside a car, in the driver's seat, on the dashboard, on the steering wheel.
That's awesome.
And someone had to drive that car, or whatever it is they do, to just realize, okay, we're whoever's car we're sacrificing for this joke, they're going to be picking out gunky old shake out of it for I used to do production design in theater, and we did a thing of Christopher Durang's The Marriage of Bet and Boo.
Oh yeah.
And when Christmas the Christmas scenes come up, or one of them, we would drop a whole bunch of glitter. Oh, maybe it was for the wedding, where we did a whole bunch of glitter, and people would come up to me months later at the theater and just go, "I found more of the glitter embedded in one of the seats or underneath a part of the stage or something like that." Just like, yeah.
Yep.
It's what we do for our audiences. We're blameless. All right, so this time I'm going to hit Shift Y, a different tool, and I'm going to draw the green and connect it. I'm going to choose my paint bucket.
Somebody says, wasn't there a trend of slapping hot stove burners? Oh God, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
The other one, what was it? They tried to eat an entire container of cinnamon. Weren't people dying from that one?
Well, yeah, there's been a lot, and it's hard to tell how much becomes apocryphal.
Well, it's called natural selection. Let it happen.
Yeah, there was the cinnamon challenge. There were the ice bucket challenges, which were more harmless. There was, some were for like ALS and stuff like that.
Well, they say they're for ALS, but I'm like, really, is it for ALS, or are you just
that one had a legit thing behind it.
Okay, good.
Now. In the end, how much money did it actually generate? But look, all it takes is one honest to goodness rich celebrity or figurehead or influencer to actually go, yeah, well, of course. And they they already have it cleared to they're going to donate a certain amount every month anyway. Yep. And if it's for something like that gets some viewers and stuff like that, and nothing sells sometimes like the truth. That yes, I gave $10,000 to ALS. If that fact is true, it just,
That's cool if they really
yeah.
did. If they're going, hey, do this ALS challenge, but don't donate any money. I'm just going to throw a bucket of water over my head for likes. That's what I might do.
Exactly. All right, so we are in our final minutes. We're already down to 3 minutes.
Hooray!
So we have talked about many wonderful things. We love you guys on TikTok because it makes it lively. Our Sunday mornings.
Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. I am still tired.
It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we only wake up roughly an hour before these go. I was up late trying to get some stuff done. We were watching TikTok and other stuff. Yeah, the voice work yesterday kind of wore it out, and I was working on the musical score for her big showstopper piece. So. We usually don't get out of bed until roughly an hour before we start broadcasting. So yeah, we're still like get the coffee in, feed the cats, get OBS and the streaming up and going, and then away we go. So we're down to our last couple of minutes. How are we doing here? We didn't even do any polls this time.
Nope.
Yes, hot stove burners. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the hot stove burner.
Razzie the second.
Well, we're actually doing well. We ended up with 4,500 likes.
Yay!
On a holiday weekend.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
that's awesome. So thanks to everyone on that.
Yes.
We'll see afterwards how we did with people, because the great thing about the live streams, people who have never seen us working on this, who have never heard of SpongeBob's Burgers, come in, they see it, they like it, they check out the channel, they check out the title sequence, they check out the teasers and the 3D models and stuff, and they go, hey, I want to see this when it comes out in September. So in the meantime, this is George Jiffy. You see her commenting throughout there. Go check out her channel. We are working on some rebranding, and there'll be lots of fun stuff that we're working on.
It's all silly stuff.
It's silly stuff. Oh yeah, big surprise. The two of us working on anything not being silly. For all of our strong opinions on many things, ultimately we're entertainers, and we just like singing and dancing and animating and doing funny voices and funny songs. So yeah. this, of course, comes out September 3rd, as if the banners that have been floating this whole time. And that's the nice thing about the ticker, is that if you watch long enough,
Ticker-tacker.
so that we don't have to like keep repeating ourselves, every 10 minutes with the same info. But that'll be YouTube. But in the meantime, more trailers, more live streams, more fun, more singing, more animating.
Yeah.
We are now, September 3rd. So as of tomorrow, that is 2 months away. All of this has to be done. Every background, every sound, every voice, everything. So it is going to be, when you're checking us out in August, we might be in full, we're not going to say a thing, we're just working.
Yeah. But I do want to say especially thank you, Taylor, for being here today. Thank you, Leap Meat, for being here today. Thank you, Corbin, for being here today.
Yeah.
We got a fourth person on. I think that's me. That's me. So you guys, thanks for hanging out, for all the likes, for all the comments. We love talking about this stuff.
I stupidly, and this is my apology to any of the YouTubers who are there. It's like, I just realized that we had a new person, or maybe people from TikTok coming over.
Cool.
Corbin was over on the, we've got a few people here, so.
Nice.
Arg, I wasn't watching the chat. Bad Tommy.
Bad Tommy.
I've been depending on her watching the TikTok one. I totally.
It's all my fault.
No. Because we've been lucky. Ty has been the only guy who usually shows up in YouTube. Sorry to have missed the questions.
Yep.
So tell you what, we will go over by just a moment to at least address the questions, because Vincent Garzon, if you're still around, Corbin, I think you might be going back and forth between platforms. So Vincent Garzon just said, "Hey, how's your day?" Vincent, if you're still around, it is, we just talked about our day. We've only been up for almost as long as the live stream. It's a holiday weekend, so we still have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to grill, and we got garden work, we got voice work, we got her channel TikTok work and YouTube work.
We got stuff to do.
We got stuff to do. We did some shopping yesterday so that we could just make sure that we could just focus on you lovely people today.
Yeah.
Corbin says it's okay. Yeah, sorry, Corbin. And let's see. So what are you animating on? A big surprise, we are still doing the SpongeBob burgers. Though we have other projects that we are very curious to work on in the wings, it is all SpongeBob. As you can see, I'm not trying to do any other shorts, any other animations, any other concept sketches.
We are plotting.
If we come up with an idea, we type it down real quick, even additional ideas for additional episodes. We came up with a sequence that we went, oh my god, that is definitely a Bob's Burgers kind of thing. One of those things where you go, I'm surprised that hasn't come out before. And so you just type it up in Final Draft, set it aside. Corbin just asked on YouTube, what computer? So the idea is my whole studio. I have been an Apple person my whole time.
Yeah, he's an Apple dude.
Now
I'm an Apple person too. I'm more of a free computer.
Now I'm so old that when I started in Los Angeles back in the.
How old are you?
I'm old.
You're not.
But I'm old enough to talk about things like when I was working at the first newspaper that I used to work back in 95. It was an old Performas back when the Macs could be clones. There was a clone period before the bubble iMac was made and Steve Jobs came back and cleared out the clones. There were clone PCs that were power computing PCs, but they were Macs. These were Macs that ran Mac OS, but not on an Apple hardware. And then we had what was called the Coyote 3 system, which was an old green type on a big old keyboard and stuff, and that's how we did our instant chat messages between different people in the newspaper in different departments. And I think it's also how we typed in the stories. Now that was back when the PageMaker, even for PageMaker and Quark Express and stuff. In college, it was all Macs. It was Mac SEs and the very first Macintosh computers. At the newspaper in Los Angeles, it was Apple clones until they were Apple computers, and then I think before I left, they turned into the first iMacs, the ones, well, not the first iMacs, but the ones with a little dome and the screen attached to it. At Variety, we had to work on a PC and an Apple computer side by side because different parts of the process of making the daily varieties and the weekly varieties, I can't remember why. I think in Quark Express, you do the graphics in on a Mac, and then you would have to import them into a Quark Express page on the PC. So page design, all that, copy editing, all that was done on the PC. And then where I work now, it's all, well, at least from the creative department, it's all Apple. So here at home, it is a Mac Studio. And I've got a Mac laptop, both from 2022, so they're both M1s. And then I've got a Huion 24-inch tablet, which, if we ever figure out like a way to like bring in another camera, we'll show that some other time. But it would destroy everything on both streams if we tried to show the thing. And it's a little too heavy for me to just like well, no, it's not. No, it's not. Now, if we suddenly break everything, that's on us. That's on me. But I'm gonna lift this tablet.
Look out.
Yeah, I feel I'm getting some resistance. I don't want to find out there's a cord or whatever it is. But it's just like it's just a big old tablet, 24-inch 4K tablet that I got. I did a visual effects for a low-budget horror film last year. And took all that money and upgraded my old, because my previous stuff was a very small tablet, 2,000, wait.
1 million?
No, I was all on the laptop. It was all on the laptop that now you have. It was on a 2015 laptop. I did so much on that laptop. The visual effects for that film with the boat sinking, all on a laptop. Yeah. So I was nuts. But now, yeah, it is a Mac Studio from 2022 and a laptop. That's what I bring into the vocal booth to bring up Adobe Audition, and we record in the booth there. And then what used to be a 2019 iPad, and it's now a 2022 because I seriously broke. I drew on it so much I broke it. But it's only a 9th generation introductory level, iPad. It's not an iPad Pro. And that's what I use for Procreate, which I use for drawing a lot of the concept sketches, the backgrounds, some of the animatics and stuff. But I gotta say, working on this little 10-inch screen versus working on a 24-inch screen is night and day different. I can draw more freely. And I can also connect into the computer and show you guys on TikTok and YouTube how we're doing it. Okay, we've gone over by 6 minutes, so shame on me.
Forgive me for being less quiet today, but somebody in my family recently passed, so I'm just a little bit out of it. But it was a lot of fun to be here.
So once again, I see Corbin liking the live here and laughing over on YouTube. So, hey, I don't know how you're watching it all simultaneously. So yeah, type in the YouTube chat, just like, how are you watching the YouTube? Have you got just like window in window, and it's just like it's the same stuff, just different horror. I mean, you can see more of the screen obviously on the YouTube because of the constraints of the vertical video here. We try and maximize it the best we can here because we can even go to no, I don't have the settings of just like trying to just show just the screen because it would be so awkward and weird.
Alright, we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, good. I'm hungry.
Yeah, we gotta do it. Are you heading out?
Yeah,
we're gonna say goodbye.
Okay.
So
Bye, guys!
we're first going to say goodbye to the lovely one or two of you that have been following along on YouTube. Hey, it does not matter to us. We do this to an empty room. But the fact that there are people on YouTube and a ton of people on TikTok who at least visit for 30 seconds and then go, okay, on to the next thing in the For You page. We love you guys, and we will be back here next Sunday, whatever, the 9th, I think that would be July 9th, because we've only got a handful of these live streams left before we've got to do the streaming party, because when the live stream is Sunday morning, September 3rd, that is the come and watch it with us, and hopefully we did a good job. So to everyone in YouTube, we're first going to say goodbye. We're going to hit the stop streaming button here, and stop streaming. You will not be able to reconnect. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be there live.